months after Colombo's shooting, we know in Pennsylvania there was a group of students that broke into an FBI field office, and this story is it's been made into a documentary and a movie. It's about COINTELPRO. So J. Edgar Hoover started the COINTELPRO, which is counterintelligence program, in the late 1950s, mimicking a CIA program that we used overseas to spread information, disinformation, so that we can take care of political coups and really work the.
I think it was well, they'll hide behind it but at the time I think the working theory was it was supposed to counter, I think, ingrown communism. And number two, I don't know if it was legal. I don't think it was legal, by the way. But
I mean, they had to pay for the Fred Hampton murder. They were proven responsible for the murder of Fred Hampton. They were any political dissident group, whether it was the Black Panthers or the communists or the Nazis. I knew, and I write about it in the book with FBI documents to back it up, that they were part of a small operation where they were sending the mobsters letters that communists were moving into the neighborhood and planning to bomb mob hangouts. And they were doing this to create tension and have the mob people hopefully potentially rub out some of these communists. So it's a tactic that they've used even in organized crime. They would pin families, they knock on someone's door, boom, boom, and this happened to Anthony. Knock on the door and say, listen, we can't tell you anything except for this. You're in danger. Someone from the Cosmo crime family is planning to kill you. And, Anthony says, well, if they're planning to kill me, why wouldn't you go and arrest these people? But you'll tell me in hopes that there will be, a preemptive strike and a murder. And now their business is booming,
I never understood that. It's like, hey, you're in danger. Because I can't go into specifics. I can tell you offline. Our old show, I partnered with a former OC member, and from credible sources, we showed up in some wiretaps, nothing threatening or anything like that, but we showed up on some wiretaps and stuff. And it was like, well, if we showed up on wiretaps, like you just let it go, like it's okay, they come kill me.
Yeah, who you pick and choose it's your taxpayer dollars are allowing you to pick and choose the type of crime you're going to prevent. The different people that you might or might not save.
Yeah, that fat guy with the beard, he's expendable. So if they're going to talk about him, let's not let him know for the greater good of society. All right, well, we'll move on there. All right, so I want to touch on this, and then I want your views on some other stuff as well. Because I'm 400 interviews deep. I'm equally excited about my most important interview is you, because there's so much layers to this, so much to unpack. Because you tie in the Italian American experience, you tie in respectfully Cosa Nostra, good investigative journalism, and so forth. Now, the Fox was Carlo Gambino, so I would have put it past Gambino to do this and make it look like a conspiracy. So why don't you walk us through that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very plausible. I laid out the Gambino theory, and I think my only real defense was the information on how close Anthony was and Joe was to Carl Gambino. He came from the same neighborhood in Sheepshead Bay. Carl Gambino was very fond of Anthony Durante, which is a.k.a. Anthony Colombo, Joe's father, who was an assassin prior to even there being the five families. He was involved with the Yale organization, which ran most of South Brooklyn.
Al Capone's mentor. Al Capone's mentor.
Al Capone's mentor, yes, who ended up killing Yale, because of the disagreement with the Union Sociale. So Colombo's father and Gambino being so close when his father was assassinated and Joe's mother and sister moved out to California, Carl stayed as mentor and promised that he was going to take care of him and rear him. And they had a relationship that no one knew about. They kept it in secret.
Yeah.
So